Welcome to Cadwell Park for rounds 4 and 5 of the BRSCC Fiesta Championship. The championship is a multi-class format with various cars, including the more recent Fiesta E-Tech S's, the older Fiesta SIs, and round to the Fiesta STs from about 10 years ago. And it's in this class where the championship really hots up. Championship leader at the moment, Danny Harrison, dominated the opening rounds at Brands Hatch, but he's in third place. Former Fiesta Junior champion. Starting on pole position is his sparring partner from Brands Hatch, another former Fiesta Junior champion, Harry Gooding. It's going to be really exciting to see what happens as these cars get away from the grid. To take you through that grid, it's over to our race commentator, Richard John Neal.
Thanks very much, Lloyd. Harry Gooding on pole, Josh Watkins alongside, then Danny Harrison and David Nye. Ryan Falconbridge lines up on row 3 with Tom Hutchins, then it's Jamie Going and Miles Baker. Ollie Hunt in 9th from Richard Dawson and Robert Stevens. John Cooper heading Class D, ahead of Zachary Lucas, then Tim Bennett and Marco Ricci. Colin Newbold, the sole representative in Class A. Plenty of driving talent in this field. The countdown is almost complete. 5-second board shown. Marshall reaches for the lights switch, which are on. Off go the lights, and it's pole position man again, Harry Gooding, who was on pole position at Brands Hatch, who gets away, but it looks like a slightly better start by Josh Watkins in yellow, who is going around the outside line. Remember, pole position here is left-hand side at Cadwell Park because of the left-hand corner. And it's Watkins, I think, who's held on. Good opportunity taken there by Watkins off the start. It's easier to go around the outside of the start. You haven't perhaps got as much momentum as if you were doing a racing lap. We'll explain that more as the race goes on. Harry Gooding at the moment is down in 4th place. Ryan Falconbridge challenging him now. The black and turquoise car with the checkered roof looks up the inside line. Jamie Going behind him. Then it's Miles Baker. Tom Hutchins going through as well. So Jamie Going, I think, is going to side here with maybe looking up following Harry Gooding on the inside line. Zachary Lucas running 2nd in Class D. And that's Robert Stevens immediately in front. Robert with the novice cross on the back, so a new driver to motor racing. And we get lots of new drivers wanting to come in and race in the Fiesta Championship. It's a great starting point for drivers. But Josh Watkins in yellow is the race leader. So Watkins from Danny Harrison from 3rd on the grid up into 2nd place. David Nye from 4th up into 3rd. Then Harry Gooding, as Lloyd said, the former Fiesta Junior champion, who again got pole position here today. So a quick youngster, won't be happy with the start for sure, but it's about racing as much as anything else. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Harry Gooding put on a little bit of a charge and a show for us here at Cadwell Park. But coming towards the end of lap 1, Josh Watkins has done a good first lap. Danny Harrison 2nd, there is David Nye. Downhill to tick off the first lap. 4th place, 5th position, I beg your pardon, is side by side between Jamie Going and Ryan Falconbridge. Going's going to have a look at the outside line in white. Cast your eyes back of shot. Now, I was saying that it's quicker, it's easier off the line to do the outside line, but Going's going to have a lot more momentum around the outside line, and indeed, yep, doesn't work for him. I think Watkins probably able to do the move, as I said, because he carried less speed into the corner, and therefore a little bit more grip around the outside off the start. But Jamie Going had a go, and fair play to him for that, but at the moment has to content himself with 6th place. And a look at the rear end of Ryan Falconbridge, who qualified in 5th position. Jamie Going started 7th, so he won't be too unhappy with his progress. But he's got his mirrors full of Miles Baker in black. Tom Hutchins, who is there in the Union flag livery car as well. Robert Stevens gaining experience, and of course, as a newcomer, if you're not up with your contemporaries in your class, if there are smaller engine size classes further back, you can get involved in the race with those, and that's what's happening with Robert Stevens here. Has the more powerful car, but he's dicing with John Cooper, who passed him off the start. So interclass racing does provide that benefit. 5th, 6th and 7th place. Miles Baker at the moment in 7th, and they look at that climb. The camera caught that very well indeed. Good camera placing here to show you the undulations that we have at Cadwell Park. It's a very, very tricky circuit, and a lot of people say it's a driver's circuit. I think every circuit's a driver's circuit, as opposed to, I don't know, a chef circuit, a TV presenter circuit, I don't know what. But yeah, real challenge here. often described as the mini Nürburgring, which I think is a total misnomer. Both Nürburgring and Cadwell Park have their own attractions to my mind, but I don't consider this to be in any stretch of the imagination anything like the Nürburgring, but it is a terrific circuit, very well kept circuit as well. On board with Danny Harrison, coming onto the park straight, or straight-ish as I tend to call it, and Danny running with Mutation Motorsport. But we're focused on the overall race lead at the moment, and it's David Nye who went through and clearly found some momentum to make that move and made the car stick around the outside line going into Coppice and has got the lead. But the significant thing here is that Josh Watkins hasn't waved a white flag and said game over. He's not that far behind. Nye with the outright fastest lap of the race as well, which is a 1:44.868. And that's actually quicker than Harry Gooding's pole position time. So unusually, normally you get faster times in qualies, and Watkins working hard, as you can see at the wheel. But David Nye, the race leader, will aim to try and get away. I'm not sure how much of a lead he'll be able to build, but he has got the fastest lap of the race as well. Jamie going back in front of Ryan Falconbridge. So we are seeing passing. Then it's Miles Baker in 7th, Tom Hutchins with the Union flag in 8th place. And these two have had a great race, haven't they? Jamie Going is there. Jamie with Brands Hatch 6th, 5th and 6th position. And this will match his best result, which was race 2 at Brands Hatch. Race winner last year, remember, Jamie Going in this championship, which was very popular indeed. And we have got so many drivers that are capable of taking race wins in this championship. It's very, very competitive across the classes. Going coming downhill through Mansfield Corner, past the bus stop, which you can see there, and then the hairpin, the bus stop I think used by the bikes that race here, predominantly a bike track, but some supercar racing. Obviously if you've got hugely powerful cars, then overtaking is even more of a premium, but I think probably pretty much just right for our BRSCC Fiesta Championship. There's Ryan Falconbridge still running well in 6th position, but it's David Nye out front at the moment. The Daniels Motorsport man is clear. There's the Jamsport car goes through. Those four are actually a lot closer together. They tick off another lap and they're on to the last lap. Josh Watkins, as you can see, hasn't been left in yellow. He's still there. So Watkins chasing David Nye, and he's, I think, maybe poised to have a go on the last lap here to reclaim the lead. He would dearly love to have another win. He's all over the back of David Nye. He's having to go defensive. Watkins takes a wider line there, going through Park Corner, heading down towards Chris Curve. If you get the wider line in, you might get a little bit more momentum. I suspect that's what David Nye did earlier on. Watkins, as you can see, a couple of lengths down at the moment on David Nye, coming down the hill, having negotiated the gooseneck down into Mansfield Corner for the last time. David Nye, vastly experienced driver, as we said, has raced at the very top level of British motorsport in the touring cars. And great to have him back in the Fiesta Championship, where he's been a multiple champion, because he's very much a benchmark for these drivers. Had a dismal start to this year, as he did last year. 2 retirements at Brands Hatch in races 1 and 2, but got the car on the podium for race 3. And the defending class champion will be hoping that his run into the end of this year's championship will be much the same. Coming down into Barn Corner for the last time, and Watkins is going to have to rely on a run here on David Nye, but it looks like the Sussex man will beat the Welshman here at Cadwell Park. There's clapping on the pit wall, and there's the checker. David Nye takes the win in round 4 of the championship. Josh Watkins is 2nd. Harry Gooding is in 3rd place and beating his championship rival Danny Harrison, who is 4th. Jamie Going waiting for in 5th place. Nye the winner, Josh Watkins 2nd, Harry Gooding next from Danny Harrison. Jamie Going did get 5th from Ryan Falconbridge. Miles Baker fending off Tom Hutchins. Richard Dawson and Robert Stephen next from Zachary Lucas, who wins Class D, from Tim Bennett, Marco Ricci, Colin Newbold next, and Ollie Hunt did get some more laps in towards the end to finish in 15th.
Class A winner, Colin.
Thank you.
Not really much competition.
Exactly. It wasn't difficult. I just had to stay on track and finish.
But keeping up with some of the guys in front in quicker cars.
I'm getting better at this track. It's my first time here, so I'm trying to get the hang of it. And I didn't do any testing, so I'm going to hopefully go a little bit quicker in the final, in the last race. But yeah, I'm getting the hang of it. It's actually one of those that rewards the brave.
Well, we look forward to seeing you out there in the second race, and congratulations once again on your trophy.
Okay, thank you.
Zach, congratulations on winning Class D. Tough race out there, though.
Yeah, really tough. I mean, unfortunately for John, who had a mechanical failure, had to stop. But luckily, I mean, I've come in for first as well. Hopefully, I'll pick up a few more points along the way this season. I mean, I've only raced at Brands and here. It's my first 2 races, so I'm doing not too bad. Hopefully it stays that way, eh?
Yeah, it's still learning, but it wasn't obvious from us outside that you're still learning the track. Can you repeat the win?
Hopefully, but there's no guarantees. I mean, I'll do my best, and that's about it. And thanks for Daniel's Motorsport as well for helping me through it all as well.
Congratulations. Once again, we look forward to seeing you after race 2.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers.
Dave, congratulations on the win. You started 4th, so that was some pretty impressive making up through the field.
Yeah, I slipped a bit on the start, went up the inside, round the outside, a little bit slippy, but held it in there. Danny fell off on his own. I think he had a problem with the car at the top of the gooseneck, and after that it was just chasing down.
We join us in the holding area, and as you can see, the cars are lining up and ready to go out for the final race this weekend in the BRSCC Fiesta Championship. David Nye, winner of the first race, on pole position. It's over to Richard John Neal to take you through the rest of the grid.
Thank you kindly, Lloyd. David Nye on pole, by virtue of the win in race number 1. Josh Watkins alongside Harry Gooding and Danny Harrison, row 2. Jamie Going and Ryan Falconbridge next from Miles Baker and Tom Hutchins. Then it's Richard Dawson and Robert Stevens, Ollie Hunt. Zachary Lucas pole for Class D from Tim Bennett and Marco Ricci. Colin Newbold and John Cooper complete our grid. Second race of the weekend here at Cadwell Park. Round 5 of the 2018 BRSCC Fiesta Championship, racing with MRF Tyres. Lights on, and we are very nearly ready to go for our second and final race of the weekend. Away we go. Can Josh Watkins get a demon start again? No, he doesn't. David Nye pulls across to the outside line. Harry Gooding's had a better start. Gooding looking up the inside line of Watkins. I think maybe too far back to do anything about that at the moment, because he's got going around the outside. Danny Harrison looking to try and take 3rd place. It's a good start from all concerned for our second race. Just the one casualty in race number 1. Let's hope it's all kept to a minimum in this one. I say casualty, of course it was a breakdown for John Cooper rather than accident damage, which we definitely don't want. There in car number 8 is Richard Dawson in white, up ahead of Robert Stevens, but it's David Nye, the race leader. Josh Watkins second, Danny Harrison up to 3rd, and again Ryan Falconbridge and Jamie Going in the mix as well. Miles Baker down behind Tom Hutchins, on board with Robert Stevens. Working hard is Robert. He's actually 5th in the championship after round 4, 114 points. Ahead of him, Danny Harrison still the lead now, but that's been cut down by 10 points by Harry Gooding. And then Ryan Falconbridge and Jamie Going jointly 3rd on 142 points. And then Robert Stevens followed by Charles Plumley and Miles Baker on 108. And there are going to be more points to make an impact in this one. But it's David Nye the leader, Josh Watkins in 2nd place, Danny Harrison trying to put pressure on him. I don't know why they bother putting the markers out, because I don't know if you saw that, but one of the floppy markers went for a Burton there, and that's what happens in the early stages of these races. So they're not going to be any use through the remainder of the race for the drivers. Gooding closing up on Danny Harrison in terms of the championship, as I've mentioned, so that was key for him, being ahead in that previous race at the finish, so grabbing a few points off of him and setting us up for what should be a great tussle all the way through the year between those two drivers. Gooding busy chasing, then it's Ryan Falconbridge from Jamie Going, and those two, as I say, have been locked on track together this weekend. As we saw in race 1, and tied, by my maths anyway, coming into this one on 142 points in third place in the championship standings. So a very keen competition between those two. Watkins is having a look up the... Oh, I thought he was going to look up the inside line, but the camera angle flattering to deceive. He took a slightly tighter line there. Might have been a little bit of defensive thinking there from Danny Harrison in third place as well. Robert Stevens still working hard as well, and learning, of course, all the time. Back to second, third and fourth, who are a trio, and David Nye looking to try and get away. Didn't seem happy with the car in the interview with Lloyd after race one, but a good race result for him. Of course, as I mentioned, the Class C defending champion David Nye. He's won titles in Class D as well. He was class champion there in 2015 and was Class A champion in 2009. David Elsley, the Class C champion that year. Lee Brett winning Class B. That was before the advent of Class D. When that came in, it was 2013. David Abbott taking the championship that year. And a quick reminder on the specs of the cars. Class A for the mid-1990s Mark III Fiesta SIs. Standard 1800cc engine. We haven't got any Class Bs this weekend, but Class C, the Fiesta ST, Class D, the newer class, the Fiesta Z-Tech S 3-door 1600cc. So 3 classes represented this weekend, and some fine racing as ever from the championship, administered by the BRSCC. And it's David Nye up front. Watkins, I think, starting to get a little bit closer again. It was a trio, remember, for second, third and fourth, but now I think we've got 2 pairs battling it out, and Watkins looking pretty handy here. Inside line on this bit for the straight, but that's going to convert to the outside line at Park Bend, and Watkins is trying to have a go. David Nye, of course, goes for the apex. Is he going to drift wide on the exit? No, he's not. He's keeping it defensive. Nye looks like he's totally in control of what's going on there, but Watkins looming large. And just a reminder, it was race 2 last year that Watkins won, and he'll have that in his mind. Harry Gooding's caught them now as well, so instead of being a trio for second place, it's a trio for the lead. Danny Harrison dropping back a bit. Watkins kicks up a bit of dirt as they go along the straight up towards the mountain. Danny Harrison in behind, so Harrison getting maybe sucked in by Ryan Falconbridge, who wants to close him down. Falconbridge, of course, a joint third in the standings. 150 points down on Danny Harrison at the moment in the championship, but that can all disappear with one race, because very generous points on offer for each race that these drivers contest. Into the old hairpin they go once again. Jamie Going not that far behind Falconbridge too. Danny Harrison not looking as happy in this one. The treble winner from Brands Hatch doesn't seem at this moment to have the pace, but remember, it's a long race, so they should get time to sort themselves out. That's Richard Dawson in behind this battle, and again Miles Baker starting to try and turn the wick up and close down on the car in front. That was a really great shot there of them going through Coppice. Really get an idea of them carrying the speed and how the flow of the circuit could be matched by the flow of the cars. And the battle between these two, well, it's taking a breather at the moment. A couple of lengths between the 2 cars, heading along Park Straight. And who's got the fastest lap? So let's have a look at the lap times. At the moment, the fastest lap is with Josh Watkins, the yellow car in second place. We've not got him on shot at the moment because we're still looking at the developing, hopefully, battle for 5th place between Tom Hutchins and Miles Baker. Out of the gooseneck, down into Mansfield corner. Hutchins, to some extent, of course, will be looking in his mirror, and that black and white car looming larger at some times, but at the moment, Hutchins just keeping a little bit of a gap back. Jamie Going not that far away either. And if they were teammates, these two, what they might want to do is get their heads down and work together and try and reel in Jamie Going. But here comes Jamie. Watch for the white car going through shot. Going points-wise, just trying to work out where he's going to be. He's joint 3rd in the championship at the moment, so he will consolidate 3rd in the championship. He's not going to bag enough points to pass Danny Harrison for 2nd place in the championship. Harrison will remain on 192, and Jamie Going will be, I think, get up to 180 points or thereabouts, but will go second in the championship. But here's the man that's done the winning this weekend after 2 non-finishes at Brands Hatch. Comes out here at Cadwell Park, wins race 1, he's winning race 2 here as well, and he's got a bigger gap over Josh Watkins than he had in race number 1. Watkins not that far away though still, and has the fastest lap of the race. Zach Lucas fastest in Class A, Colin Newbold is still running. Zach Lucas in Class D, Colin Newbold in Class A is still running as well, so he's going to get some points and close in on Mark Court with the 2 race wins here. Watkins is closer, so Watkins taking the battle back to the race leader. It's David Nye there at the moment, down the hill for the last time, into Mansfield. Now where can he get past? Nye took the opportunity to do it along the straight. We saw that from on board with Josh Watkins last time, and now they head up towards the mountain for the last time. The car coming into shot is Colin Newbold. We haven't seen a lot of Colin here today, but he could find himself a lap down. There is Colin Newbold, the Class A runner. I'm sure he'd love some competition to run against, and that would be good to see later in the year. And he's going to see the race leaders coming up towards him, and what part of the track are they going to catch him? It's at the old hairpin. He sticks to the outside line. David Nye goes through. Well, look at Colin Newbold, keeps right to the outside line. Fair play to him. That maybe fell a little bit better to David Nye, but there was nothing wrong with what Colin Newbold did as David Nye goes down the hill, and there's the checker. David Nye makes it 2 out of 2. A Cadwell Park double for the man from Sussex. Josh Watkins adds another podium to his career statistics, and Harry Gooding takes the championship lead with 3rd place there in car 56. 4th goes to Jamie Going. Here is Jamie. Then we've got Tom Hutchins and Miles Baker still racing hard to the flag up ahead of Richard Dawson. Splendid race. Nye, Watkins who gets fastest lap, Gooding 3rd, Going in 4th, then Hutchins, Miles Baker, Richard Dawson. Ollie Hunt finished 8th. 9th position goes to Robert Stevens. Zach Lucas wins Class D from Tim Bennett, John Cooper, Marco Ricci and Colin Newbold. Non-finishes, of course, sadly, Danny Harrison and Ryan Falconbridge. Now, championship standings. Mark Court leading Class A from Colin Newbold. And we hope to see Mark back later in the year. Class D, Zachary Lucas now championship leader. Tim Bennett 2nd from Marco Ricci. John Cooper is in 4th, not too far behind. And Class C is headed by Harry Gooding from Danny Harrison. Jamie Going, as we worked out, in 3rd from Miles Baker. And David Nye up into 5th place. The winners, though, are with Lloyd.
David, congratulations on your 2nd win of the weekend, but you were really pushed hard on that one.
Yeah, Josh kept me very honest on that. It was a proper sprint race. Had to back him up a little bit through the twiddly bits, and yeah, it was good fun. Back end was a bit loose, but no, it's great.
Zach, congratulations on your Class D win, 2 out of 2 here at Cadwell Park. You must be pretty happy.
Yeah, over the moon. I mean, it was a brilliant start. I got a really good start off the line, so I was happy with that. And yeah, managed to keep the lead, and brilliant. Yeah, really happy, really happy.
Colin, congratulations once again on a Class A win. And again, you seem to be picking up some pace to the faster cars in front.
I was 4 seconds a lap quicker on that stint, so it's just a case of getting used to the track. And it rewards brave drivers, as I said before. It's got more curves than Sophia Loren.
Well, that wraps up the action in the BRSCC Fiesta Championship with MRF Tyres here at Cadwell Park. We hope you can join us next time when the racing action takes place at Rockingham.